Hi, welcome back. So we spoke about collecting data and storing data. Now let's look at the next aspect or next task involved in data science, which is processing data, right? So here typically the terms that you hear, one of them is this data wrangling, or is also goes by the name of data munging. So let's understand what this means, right? So let's look at this setup that again you're a large organization, you have your own databases inside, and now you have used the services of a courier service to say package some things outside your organization to send it to some different location or something like that, right? And now you're receiving some data back from this courier service. So look at this JSON format that you see here. So this is the data which the courier organization has sent you back. It says that the package contents was book, the delivery date was something, the delivery time was something, and the receiver was John Doe, right? And now, of course, you want to take this data and put it back in your own database, right? So this could be a package which someone has bought from your online e-commerce platform, and now it has been shipped. So you want to record the details of who got it and at what time they got it and so on. But now while doing so, what would happen is that there might be some information here which you may not care about because you are not storing it back in your database. And there will be some information here which is not in the right format. So hence you might have to transform that and store it in the correct format, right? So this is known as the process of extraction, transformation and loading, and collectively referred to as data wrangling or data munging, right? So in this particular example, so if you look at here, the field name is package contents and it says book. But in your organization, or this case of the search organization, in the structured table that they have, this is known by the term item. That was what you see here, right? And now in this item column, I want to store the name book, right? Or the name of the book, or whatever is the internal way of referring that, right? So now I need to look at this package contents, extract that information from the JSON format, JSON file, transform it to a format which is acceptable to me. That means I'll have to transform package contents to item and then store it in the item column, right? Then moving on, if you see, right, the courier service, for whatever reasons, they wanted to store the delivery date as well as delivery time separately. Now you could do this, but this is also equivalent to just storing the timestamp. And in your organization, maybe you are just storing it as timestamp. So you need to take these two folds, extract these two fields, transform them together into a timestamp, and then store the timestamp in your database, right? Similarly, if you look at the last field, which is the receiver name, which was John Doe, then in your organization, maybe you store things as first name and last name. So you might want to split on space and then store John as the first name and Doe as the last name, right? So now here, what is a data scientist doing, right? In this data wrangling or munging, he's trying to integrate information from multiple sources, right? So this is one internal database that you have. Again, this could have happened that the courier service is also a part of this organization itself, right? So many big companies have a courier unit within their organization. So it could be that. So it could just be a different organization within your organization. And now that organization has a certain way of creating, storing data. It could have been relational data also. Here I have taken the case of you have this relational table here, and the other format that I have looked at is a JSON format, which is an unstructured or a semi-structured format, right? So now it could also be that there are two relational tables and the field names in the two tables are different. What you're calling item here, they might call it as package, and what you're calling as first name here, they might call it as name there, and so on, right? So you need to look at these two databases and do a transformation from one database to the other database after extracting the relevant information from one database and then load it into the other database, right? So this is known as data wrangling or data munging, okay? Then what you also need to do is data cleaning. So what does data cleaning involve, right? So it involves fill missing values. So again, imagine that you're getting data from someone else. So you are an organization and you're trying to collect, say, the heights of people. You're, say, a fitness organization, you have a fitness app, and people who are using your app, you want them to enter some data, and maybe some people don't enter the height properly, or maybe some people don't enter the weight properly, and now you need to figure out how to fill this missing values, right? So that's what you typically do in data cleaning, and you'll use certain heuristics that you just look at the height of all people and maybe replace this missing height by the mean of that height or something of that sort. Or you could do even something more sophisticated things. This person has entered the weight, and now you know that there's a certain relationship between the weight and the height. So based on that, you make a best guess of what the height could be, right? The other thing you do is standardize keywords. So for example, now again think of this as an e-commerce organization where you have a marketplace and people are uploading their goods there. So someone has wants to sell a shirt on your marketplace, and now he has not written certain details of the shirt properly. Maybe he, instead of using the exact word half sleeved, they have just mentioned half. Right? And you want to now standardize these keywords because you know that this is important for search downstream. So when you're receiving data from noisy sources, you want to clean it and standardize all these keywords and tags which are there in your data set, right? Then you need to correct spelling errors. Maybe there's, while data entry, there were some errors. We have received data from an untrusted source or not a very reliable source, so you have to do this spelling correction and so on. And then you also need to identify and remove outliers. Right? For example, due to a typing error, if someone enters their weights as say 1000 kg or 2000 kg, then you know that this is not possible. This is clearly an outlier because all other weights are in the range of say 40 to say 100, 110 to 150 kg, and now there is someone who is like 2000 kg, then there should be an outlier. So you need to identify and remove these outliers, so to ensure that whatever models you subsequently build on your data are built on clean data. Right? And the third action that you need to do while processing data is data scaling, normalizing, and standardizing. Right? So what do we mean by that? So again, you might have a situation where the data is coming in a certain unit, so you are recording data in kilometers, but in your database you want to store it in miles, so you'll have to scale the data appropriately. Same if you want to do from rupees to dollars, then you need to do some scaling of the currency so that it's in the consistent form in which you are storing it, right? And the other main thing that you do here is normalization of data. So here's one example, right? So typically if you're collecting heights and say these heights are in centimeter, then what you will observe is what looks like this first plot here, which is sort of a normal distribution centered around 150. And what is happening there is that your average height is 150, and then you have a distribution around that, right? And there are very few people who are very tall somewhere here, which is around 180, and very few people who are very short, maybe here around 3 feet, 3.5 feet or something like that, right? So now for various modeling purposes and also to get a better sense of different columns in your database, right? So you have say weight data, you have height data, you have age, you have income tax, you have salary, and all of these. Now to get a better sense of what is high and what is low, it's better to normalize the data, and what you do in that is you transform this data into something known as zero mean and unit variance. What this exactly means is something that we'll see in the course, but this is some transformation of the data so that whatever was 150 in your original data becomes 0, and then also the data around it spreads accordingly, right? So that's what you do in normalizing data. Similarly, you do something known as standardizing data. So what you have here is 4 different numbers in one column, which is -10, 0, 10, 30. And again, to ensure that all these different columns that you have in the database are in some sense comparable in terms of the range that they have, what you do is you just rescale and shift these values so that they become between 0 to 1. So what I have done here effectively, just to quickly explain it, is that, so you can see that the difference between my largest value 30 and my smallest value -10 was 40, right? So what I have done is I have subtracted my smallest value from every value and divided it by this difference 40. So if I did do this for the first data item, which is -10, then what I get is -10 minus -10 divided by 40, which is going to be 0. For the second data item, I'll get 0 minus -10, which is 10 divided by 40, which is going to be 0.25, and so on. Again, this is something that we'll do in detail through multiple examples in the course, but the idea here is to standardize the ranges of your data sets, right? So imagine salary, a column like salary would probably be in thousands or 10,000s or lakhs, and something like weight would be in hundreds or something tens and hundreds, and something like height would again be in tens and hundreds, and so on. You want to have a uniform view in your entire data, all the columns to be standardized, and hence bring everything in the range of 0 to 1, right? So this is again an important skill for a data scientist. So the 3 things that I spoke about in processing data, they include starting with data, sorry, let me just go back. Yeah, which was data wrangling and data munging. So this has more to do with playing a bit with JSON files and so on. So we'll talk about JSON formats, we'll talk about CSV formats in this course. We'll not be talking much about databases. Relational databases is something that we'll not do in this course. We'll talk about these other semi-structured formats in detail. Then even similarly in data cleaning, we'll talk about some of these, in fact all of these techniques and how to use a bit of statistics to do some of these tasks. And we'll also talk about scaling, normalizing and standardizing. So these are all the things that we'll cover in the course, right? And what are the other caveats that you have is, so if you have to process data, and if you're dealing with big data, again things of millions and millions of records, and now I want to do this standardization for all items in one column, right? There are a million entries here and I want to standardize them so that all become 0 to 1, then what I need to do is I need to do something like a distributed processing. What does that mean is that I need to divide my data into smaller chunks, distribute them to multiple computers or a cluster of computers or servers, do the partial computation on each of these servers and then aggregate the result back, right? And this is exactly what the Hadoop MapReduce framework allows you to do, right? So if you are processing large amounts of data, then you also need to be aware of these distributed processing and other software frameworks like Hadoop, which allow you to deal efficiently with large amounts of data. So that's an interesting skill to have, especially in the context of big data. Right? So just to summarize all the skills, of course programming skills, because you need to load these different formats of JSON, CSV and other formats. You need a bit of MapReduce provided you're dealing with big data. And if you're not dealing with really large amounts of data, you could do this on a single computer and not really have to distribute it. You also need knowledge of SQL and NoSQL database. So NoSQL databases, of course, is JSON, XML and other formats, and SQL database is the more traditional relational database. Again, in this course, we'll not be focusing so much on the relational database. And you also need some basic knowledge of statistics, because these standardization which I showed you, or the normalization which I showed you, where you have a normal distribution and you do something based on that distribution, that is where you need some knowledge of statistics, and that's exactly what we are going to cover in this course, right? We are going to teach you enough statistics to be able to understand what does normalization mean, how does it make sense, and so on, right? So that's about processing data. So I'll end this video here, and then we'll come back and start talking about describing data. Thank you.